Listen up, you Yinzers. Man, great to see all you guys in the live chat today. Give a quick shout out to everybody in here, man. Stiller Dog, Claude Bishop, you diabolical nemesis, you, man. Good to see you, man. Afton Girl, what's going on? Peter P.Y., Big Pun in the building. Luke K777. Dwayne McNair, Pickens, you big dummy. Floyd Jr., man, what's going on, all you guys, man? Great to see all y'all for another edition of Keeping It 100. Just so you know, the super chats are wide open. So if you'd like to super chat into the show today, please feel free. We got to do a little noon fireside chat to talk about, excuse my voice, the state of the Steelers. Y'all, I can't stand it. I really, really can't stand it. I'm so tired of mediocrity in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm so tired of seeing this team go up and down, flip and flop, back and forth, take 2 steps forward, 2 steps backwards, 3 steps forwards, 3 steps backwards. The standard is the standard, but the standard is inconsistency. The standard is mediocrity. The standard points out that it's time for a change in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, let me be perfectly clear, and let's talk facts. Mike Tomlin has a no-trade clause. Mike Tomlin just got an extension from the ownership of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So let's be clear about that before everybody say, well, fire the coach and all A, B, C, and D. They just gave him a contract extension, and within the terms of his contract extension, he got a no-trade clause. So let's point this out. The ownership has to be sick of it in order for a change to happen and occur. Us as fans, we can scream, argue, yell, fuss, fight. All that stuff's irrelevant. And there's a lot of reasons why. And trust me, I'm one of the fans and a podcaster and a follower of the Steelers that say, yeah, it's time to do something different. It's time to change. But the change has to start with the Rooneys. The Rooneys have to be tired of seeing what they're seeing. The Rooneys have to be tired of dealing with what they're dealing with concerning the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Rooneys gave him an extension, and they gave him a no-trade clause. Now, that's one part of it. But the second part of it is this, and I did my research, and I looked this up too. And I actually talked to several former NFL players over the last 72 hours. People that I know that played in the National Football League. I talked to them. One guy, I just talked to him this morning. And he told me, he said, G, I played in the league for a long time, bro. And he said, it's one thing I learned about coaches. Coaches would rather do it their way and lose to change and do something different and be successful. That's how coaches feel. Coaches feel like they'd rather do it their way and let it fall all apart. And I'm not just talking about 1 or 2 or 3 coaches. A lot of coaches in the National Football League, both offensive and defensive coordinators, head coaches, position coaches, feel like their way is the highway because they're the elite of the elite. They want to do it their way, and they'd rather fail doing it their way before they switch and change. Y'all, that's what we're facing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has been enabled by the Rooney family to continue to do it his way. I didn't used to think that until I started really, really, really honing in on what's going on with Pittsburgh from an offensive and a defensive strategic standpoint, especially this season. Y'all, we done went through multiple coordinators on offense. Defense, Terrell Austin is more of us a mouthpiece for Mike Tomlin. And we keep seeing the same thing. We're in cover 3 off man, cover 2, and out there getting assassinated. We have linebackers that never cover this outside edges, because that's what they're called in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that are dropping into coverage and can't even do the regular things, basic things regularly, because that's a lack of coaching. From an offensive standpoint, and I looked it up, I actually have a passing chart for Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph. Don't none of them throw the ball over the middle third of the field. None of them. We didn't switch coordinators. We didn't switch philosophy, right? But the same thing keeps happening. They don't throw the ball in the middle third of the field. And what's so disgusting is I watched the film from this last week. You know how many times I saw DK Metcalf open in the middle of the field? You know how many times I saw Calvin Austin open in the middle of the field? You know how many times I saw Pat Freiermuth open in the middle of the field? You know how many times I saw Mason Rudolph look at them and not throwing the ball? It's ridiculous. He looked dead at them. He was one of their reads. He just wouldn't throw the ball to the middle of the field. That's coaching. That ain't the quarterback. Because Aaron Rodgers do the same damn thing. Justin Fields did the same damn thing. Russell Wilson did the same damn thing. Kenny Pickett did the same damn thing. Mitch Trubisky did the same damn thing. You know the last time we threw the ball across the middle of the field? When Ben Roethlisberger was playing quarterback. Because Ben Roethlisberger used to be the hell with what you're talking about. Ben Roethlisberger was under the thought process, no risk it, no biscuit, baby. We can't eat unless I take a chance to throw the ball in the middle of the field. And that's what we should be doing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But the philosophy's jacked up. The philosophy's jacked up. And it starts from the ownership to the head coach to the coordinators. And it's time for a change. It's time for a change. We cannot continue. It is insane to continue to do the same things over and over and over and over and over again and expect different results. What you said, Notorious BG, just stop to think. Okay. Yeah, just stop by to thank Jalen Ramsey for the borderline dirty hit on Caleb. Nah, he didn't hit him dirty, man. He was in the field of play, still at 2 feet in, and he pushed him out of bounds. That's not dirty. You are taught as a quarterback to slide. You are taught to get down as a quarterback. If you're in the field of play and you're running forward, you have the opportunity to get cracked just like anybody else. So, you can gloat in your little win and all whatever else you had, you diabolical Bears fan. But the bottom line is, it wasn't dirty. And it didn't wake nobody up. It didn't wake. What you said, he said, I didn't say it was illegal. It didn't wake him up. No, it didn't wake him up. Actually, your quarterback played trash. If he would have been more efficient, y'all would have beat us 50 to whatever. He can't throw. He was missing all kind of passes. But that's our fault because we made it real easy because we sat in freaking cover 3 the whole damn game. Played a little bit of cover 2. Never played on-man press ever. Ever. So I ain't worried about what the Bears is talking about. I'm talking about what we did to ourselves. And that's because the coaching. That's because the coaching, man. The coaching. Our coaching, we did it to ourselves. We did it to ourselves because the coaching is absolutely horrible. The coaching was absolutely horrible. And y'all, it's time for a change. Now, like I said, I got passing charts and I could just sit and be a chronic complainer all day and night about, this is this and this and that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I know it's time for a change. But how do we get there? How do we get there? Because you got to be solution driven a little bit in this process. You just can't be out here talking about, it's Mike Tomlin got to go and all whatever else. You got to figure out a process as how you want to do it. So the first thing that has to actually happen is that there has to be a conversation between Mr. Rooney and the Rooney family and Coach Tomlin, right? He has a no trade clause. So that means he can dictate where he goes. Well, in order to get him to leave and go out the door, because trust me, Yinzers, they ain't firing him. They're not firing Mike Tomlin. Trust me, they're not going to do it. I don't care if they fall all the way apart. They're not going to do it. They're just not, right? And I want to say this too, for all you diabolical Yinzers that think, oh, Jesus, he's got to defend Mike Tomlin because he's a black coach and Jesus a black guy. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't care if the coaching staff for the Pittsburgh Steelers was Bugs Bunny, Foghorn Leghorn, and Pepe Le Pew. I wouldn't care if Bugs Bunny was the head coach, Foghorn Leghorn was the offensive coordinator, and Pepe Le Pew was the defensive coordinator. As long as we won games and had opportunities to win Super Bowls, I'm with it. So I don't give a damn about what the color, creed, nationality, or whatever the coach is. I'm talking about winning and losing because that's what matters in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's the standard. And I mean that. So I'm not defending or standing on business with nobody. I'm not throwing him under the bus, but I'm going to tell you straight up, it's time to change. It's time to change. It's just the God's honest truth about it. I'm just being real, right? So going back to my point, if Mr. Rooney's got to have a conversation, but in order to get him to walk out the door, you got to put him in a position where he thinks he can win the way that he likes to coach and play football. There's an opportunity for a team right now that I'm looking across the NFL, and I'm looking over in that NFC East. There's a team that fits Mike Tomlin's style. It's the New York freaking football Giants. Guess what they have? A bunch of edge rushers that he likes to play, press with the opposing team's offense. So you got Burns and Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau, and you got a big nose tackle in Lawrence that sort of reminds him of Cameron Hayward, and you got a young, feisty quarterback and Jackson Dart, and you got a battering ram running back and Cam Scatterboo, and you got a wide receiver in Malik Neighbors that really likes to run his go routes on the outside and doesn't like running across the middle of the field. Mike Tomlin, that's a perfect situation for you, dude. That's a perfect situation. Perfect scenario. Go to the Giants. The Giants would trade us draft capital. I think realistically we could get a first and a third for Mike Tomlin out of the New York Football Giants. And they go for it. But Tomlin, you got to be willing to do that, right? Eric Williams, what you said, he probably will leave in 2027 when his contract is up. I agree. So we got to go through this season, next season, and the season after that. That's 2.5 more seasons. I don't think most of us could take that. But, you got to realize, Coach T, that that's a fit for you, bro. And give this organization an opportunity to do something different. Now, I'm going to say this too, and this one me dealing with the diabolical Kirby Yinzy, op. Kirby said, yeah, let's get a little cute coach like McDaniel down in Miami. And hell no, that ain't us, bro. That ain't how we do football in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That ain't how we do it. I don't want no cute-looking Cincinnati Bengal team and all whatever else, and you score 50,000 freaking points, but you can't stop a catch it, stop nothing. You don't play no defense, and hell no. Hell no, I ain't doing none of that. So we got to have coaches that actually have an opportunity to come in and get us back to the standard that we have in Pittsburgh. And I got a list of names. Over the next several weeks, you'll hear me talk about it. You hear me talk about Dabo, the coach, the Dayball that they got rid of in the New York Giants. I'm not saying necessarily head coach, but he'd be a hell of an OC. He developed Josh Allen. He's a good coach, man, right? I don't know if the organization was all the way behind him. You hear me talk about Joe Brady, who you give him an opportunity to pick his own groceries. You get 2 draft picks for Tomlin, that's 14. You cut some of the dead weight we got going on around here. Like Cameron Hayward, it's time for you to retire. There's some money. Darius Slay, it's time for you to get the hell out of here and get off the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. There's another 10. Jonnu Smith, adios muchachos for you, dog. Or we'd be top 3 with money. We'd be top 3 with money. Still a dog, what you said, man. You said if the Eagles were able enough to pull the plug on Andy Reid, the Steelers should be able to pull the plug on Mike Tomlin. I totally agree. Totally agree that we should be able to. And listen, the Eagles pulled the plug on Andy Reid. They pulled the plug on Doug Peterson. They pulled the plug on Carson Wentz as the quarterback. They had some middle of the line dude playing quarterback that was big trash. And they said, oh, you know what? We're going to give Jalen Hurts an opportunity to run the franchise. They coach in position, but you know what the one constant has been over there? The GM. He's a diabolical mad scientist because he don't care nothing about it. And the ownership supports him. Well, guess where Andy Waddle and Omar Khan came from? The Philadelphia Eagle brass. So them is the two I ain't trying to get rid of. Everybody else got to go. As far as the coaching staff is concerned, they got to go. That's certain players. Now, Dwayne, you saying the whole defense, nah. I think you should make a decision about Highsmith because he's always down, and maybe we can trade him and get some capital. I think Cam Hayward, it's time for him to retire. I think you got to make a decision about Peyton Wilson. And either he's on the field or off the field, all this switching him on and off because the coach doesn't have confidence in him making a damn tackle. I mean, why are you playing NFL linebacker then? Why are you playing NFL linebacker if you can't make a tackle? From an inside linebacker standpoint, that's diabolical. That's piss poor coaching, right? Leave Peyton Wilson on the field. And either he's got it or he don't. We live and die with it. If not, we go in the draft and go get another guy. Right? Taking him off the field is fruitless. I think definitely we keep Duggar. His ass just needs to get on the jug machine. I think we keep Ramsey. Definitely we keep Elliott. Definitely we keep Eccles. We definitely keep trash Pierre LaPue. We definitely keep maybe Asante Samuel if he's 100%. There's some pieces we got to keep. Yeah, Felicia Corey Trice got a been gone, right? Got a been gone. They should have been cut his ass. Still a dog said, trade Highsmith and make Herbig your starter and draft a backup for Herbig. I'm with that. Hell, we got all this draft capital. I get it, right? Dwayne said get rid of Watt. Hey, I don't know if Watt's trade value is where it needs to be at, Dwayne. I don't know. I still am a firm believer we get a first-round draft pick for him. Late first round. I'm still a firm believer of that. But, Big Pun said Patrick Queen can leave too. I think Queen will be good if so let me say this too. I think that when Tomlin walks out of the door, it's time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to flip to a 4-3 defense, in my opinion. Now, you have to draft players to put them in position because Keanu Benton is completely out of position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I've seen him get blown the hell off the ball. I saw on the goal line stance when we had the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had Black and Harmon standing on the sideline. And you got Keanu Benton on the goal line? What kind of diabolical coaching is that? Once again, playing out of position. But in a 4-3, Keanu Benton fits that position. He fits it. He's not a 3-4. He fits in a 4-3. So I think we should switch philosophies, go to 4-3. As I was talking about coaches, like I said, like Joe Brady, like Dayball. I like the defensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions. I like Flores. I like Chris Shula. If y'all don't know who he is, you need to look him up. He's over there at the Los Angeles Rams. Chris Shula, and the name is the name. The name is the family. It's the same sets of folks. He's a Shula, so he know what he talking about. I like Gary Kubiak over there at the 49ers because I don't give a damn about the Niners. You can plug and play. You can go pick somebody up off the damn street. They're going to come in killing them. You can get a 7th-round draft pick that look like an all-damn world quarterback. Mr. Irrelevant in there just killing them. Brock Purdy. He made Mr. Irrelevant look good. He made Matt Jones that was washed look good. He got a bunch of defenders because the dogs is out. Bosa gone. The linebacker gone. Gainwell gone. They still over there killing people. They still over there. So there's some coaching going on. Big pun, absolutely hell to the no to Marcus Freeman. Hell no. He's a collegiate college football coach. He hasn't proven that he can do anything in the NFL. Two completely different games. Hell no. I don't like college coaches coming to the league unless they're an assistant first, because they got to learn the culture, right? What Justin say? Nah, he all right over there with the 49ers, man, as a defensive coordinator, but he already done proved to me he can't do it. He was up with the Jets, man, and Slay, they can't get him out of here. Justin said, do you think the Steelers will beat the Bills? As a fan, I want them to. But will they? Who knows? Once again, IE goes back to coaching. Now, and I'm going to say this about coaching too. You know what other coaches do? And trust, take it from a guy that's coached before, right? You know what other coaches do? Other coaches pick up on tendencies of what you do and go against your very tendency. The best coaches do. The best coaches will go and say, okay, well, this guy likes to run this at this down and distance, so I'm going to run this. And then they'll play a cat and mouse game back and forth about what they like to do concerning the offense and defensive strategy of the game. You know what Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin and Arthur Smith don't do? They don't adjust. Our halftime adjustments has been trash all season, and this game was the pinnacle of it. We had 21 freaking points at halftime and should have had 40 and ended up with 28. You know why? Because in the second half of the game, we was in freaking cover 3, and they was out there in 11 personnel, and Johnson, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, was going back and forth with playing mind games with Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin. They was like, okay, you run Harrison out there on the field, we're going to pass. Regardless of what the personnel is in the game. You run Wilson back down on the field, we're going to run. The thing that you think is the opposite. Where's the strategy in that coaching? That's another reason why your ass need to be up on out of here. Because if I'm sitting at home and I've never played it down, I never coached it down in the National Football League. But if I'm sitting at home and then I get copies of the All-22 film and I look at it and I can pick it apart, what do you think other defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators and head coaches across the NFL is doing? They are literally picking Mike Tomlin, Terrell Austin, and Arthur Smith apart. They are picking them apart. Their strategies don't work. They don't work, period. We're out of position. We're not in the right spot. We're teaching our quarterbacks not to throw the ball over the middle of the field. We're not attacking vertically. So as a fan, do I think we can beat the Bills? What type of coaching going to show up? That's my question. What type of coaching? Because what we've seen is mediocre coaching show up over and over and over and over and over again. We've seen mediocre coaching show up over and over and over and over and over. I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. And yeah, I understand that Mike Tomlin is, he's got a winning record and never had a losing season. And I mean, is that good enough? Hell no, not to me. That ain't good enough, right? We play to win Super Bowls. We play to win championships. Now, like I said, I ain't all just throwing Tomlin on the bus. I see a solution. Let's get him over to New York. But we're not 2027, maybe, is when he's going to leave and go out the door. And in all fairness, let's be perfectly clear. The Rooneys have just as much to do with it as Tomlin does. Kevin Colbert, our former GM from 2017 or 18 to the day he walked out the door, which was Roethlisberger's last year, because he drafted Kenny Pickett, was absolute trash for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Absolute freaking trash. Go back and look at his draft class. There's only like 3 or 4 dudes remaining on the roster from the time he was the freaking GM. There's no other team in the NFL that's like that. No other team. What Big Pun say? Big G, who will be the first player on the active roster to call out this coaching? It already happened. Patrick Queen did. It already happened. You got to read between the lines. Already happened with Connor Hayward, too. I mean, Cam Hayward. He called him out, too. He called him out, too. It's already, Jalen Ramsey's going to do it, too. And trust me, Rodgers, if it ain't happened yet, help's on the way. So we're on a collision course of 9-8 if we're lucky. Yep. Yep. Afton 100% facts. Tell the Rooneys to pay a full-size quality coaching staff. Absolutely. Because see, in Tomlin's defense, he's had to do more with less because the Rooneys are cheap as hell. Hell, we share a field with the Pittsburgh Panthers, and they can't even get the field right for the games for the Steelers. No wonder we have so many damn injuries. No wonder we have so many injuries, right? Afton said, find coaches who can develop players and get them. Yeah, absolutely, Afton. Number 3, get coaches who could, yeah, absolutely. Claude Bishop for the super chat, man. Claude, we thank you for the 5. He said, gee, this is your best show ever, and you're finally seeing the light. Happy holidays, everyone. And Kirby had a great show last night. Claude, I've been seeing the light, Claude. But I appreciate the 5. I've been seeing the light. The issue was I was in denial like some fans. I was in denial about some fans because I wanted to work. Like I said, I don't care who's the coach. I just want to win. And I want it to work. I want it to work. Right? So the deal is it's time for a change. It's time to do something different. It's time. Let's trade him off to the Giants. Hell, to be honest, I don't have a problem with Mike Tomlin going up. Go upstairs. Go sit in the booth. Go do all that little cute stuff. Now, you ain't making no calls like Omar Khan and Andy Waddle, though. Hell to the no. You mean, or you can retire. Hell, there's a lot of money in TV. After said she don't know what to do when I get a compliment from Claude. Wow. Yeah, Jason, I saw him crash out. That's why I can't go there right now. That's why I can't crash out. But he told a lot of truth. He told a lot of truth. Now I don't know if James Harrison could be the head coach, defensive coach. I don't know about it. He could be a motivator. But we're also seeing in the NFL, motivation of men don't necessarily get it. What Pete Carroll over there struggling in the Raiders, they ain't about worth a nickel. You know, that's another motivating coach. So I think you got to get an X and O guy, bro. You got to get an X and O guy that can develop talent. I love freaking Joe Brady. Like I said, I love Gary Kubiak. Clay Kubiak, Gary's brother. I love Chris Shula. I love Flores. I love those guys, bro. Yeah, Big E, I remember that. I remember you saying it. You're right. Absolutely. 9 sacks. Yeah. That's what the Cleveland Big Trash Browns ended up with. But we ain't getting no production of what we got. Yeah, he's Gary Kubiak's son. Sure is. He's a dog. He's a hell of a coach, man. I watch him get more out of less. Right? But it starts with the Rooneys. Let's be perfectly clear. It starts with the Rooneys. The Rooneys got to make the change. Trade him. Move on from him. Whatever you want to do. But it's time to do something different. It's time to we're going to be right here at the same point next year doing the same thing if we don't make any change. And let me say this as far maybe like one of my final thoughts. I would be okay with Tomlin being a coach if he would embrace change. But he ain't going to do it. I'd be okay. I wouldn't have no problem at all if Mike Tomlin would embrace change. But he ain't going to do it. He's stubborn as a mule is the day is long. He don't care. It's my way or the highway. Dude, that ain't going to work in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, bro. That ain't going to work. So if that is that the case, and let me be perfectly clear too, Ben Roethlisberger fixed a lot of problems that was going on with Mike Tomlin way back. We're talking about before the Matt Canada days, and y'all know who the offensive coordinator was back then. They fixed a lot of problems because Roethlisberger would say, "To hell with you, I'm throwing it across the middle." Roethlisberger would do all kind of stuff that is once in a generational talent. Yeah, after he is stubborn as a red freaking mare. You're absolutely correct. Get him out of here. Big trash. Right? Right? And so how we can do it as Yinzers, we got to put pressure on the Rooneys. We got to put pressure on them. You got to start the chants at the stadium. You know, fire Tomlin. Chants like that. You got to do things. You not show up at the game, not pay full price for tickets. There's a lot of things you got to do. A lot of things you got to do to get the Rooneys to move. Now, like I said, I don't think they should fire him. I think they should just mutually part ways. I think the best beneficial thing would be to trade him and give him an opportunity to talk to the New York Football Giants because that's a team for him. And that way we get something out of it, and you give the new coach an opportunity to have 14 draft picks possibly, because you got 12 now, but 14, oh yeah, the crowd's going to lose it. Still a dog. They're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. Big E said, today's NFL is all about the offenses. Look what's going on with the Texans right now. They got to help. But you know what's going on with them, bro? They winning. Because it ain't because their offense is innate. It's because they got a bunch of people injured. And when they get healthy, look out. They get Joe Mixon back. They get C.J. Stroud back. Look the hell out. Because you got to play complementary football in the NFL. Your offense has got to complement the defense. The defense has got to complement the offense. The play calling and the strategies got to work and intertwine with each other. And you got to play the team's strengths. And you have to be a coach that's willing to attack. That's something I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers do offensively or defensively. I don't see the Steelers attack. The middle of the field be wide the hell open. Why won't we throw it there? Oh, because Tomlin lives in his fears. Oh. Defensively, we sit in cover freaking 2 and cover freaking 3 and play off ball off the corners. And all the quarterbacks literally got to do is look, stand up and throw the ball. You know that was the adjustment that was made in the second half for the big trash Bears. Lane Johnson said, oh, they're off, man. Stand up and throw the ball. Caleb was just inaccurate as hell. If he would have been accurate, they would have lit us like a Christmas tree. Let's just be perfectly clear. They would have lit us up like a Christmas tree. They would have put 50 on us. But he just ain't accurate. Because it's easy. It's easy. It's easy. But that's that whole insanity. You keep doing the same thing you always done, you're going to get the same results. It's time for a change. After what you said, look at the Bengals. They have an offense when Burrow's healthy. How they do with the big trash defense? Horrible, because it's complementary football. It's complementary football. You got to have both sides. Now, I'm not worried about special teams because we got a good special teams coach. But how you filter the special teams, you continue to build out the roster. Which, by the way, maybe outside of Broderick Jones, they've done a pretty good job drafting players. Omar Khan and Andy Waddle has. They've done a pretty good job. Yeah. They've done a pretty good job. You got to continue to build the roster out. This is really like year 2 of the rebuild. And you got to get rid of cancers off your team. Got to get rid of cancers. You got cancers that was on your team. Still might have 1 or 2 of them. Luke Cage said, do you think it's time to say we're cooked? Nah. We're going to be 9-8. We're going to be 9-8. We're going to be 9-8 right there at the end, fighting Baltimore. The last game's probably going to mean something. We're going to be 9-8. That's how it works. That's how it works. Craig said, heard at the Tomlin press conference today, saying Jones and Harmon, saying that Jones and Harmon are out during the Bills game. I wouldn't be shocked. Jones has messed his neck up. He's got a neck strain. Harmon tweaked his ankle or his knee during the game. Yeah, so yeah, that's not shocking at all. Got to play football. It's the National Football League. Next man up. That's the mentality. It is what it is, right? And just to be honest, the offensive line, this might have been the best game they played all season against the Bears. They look good. They actually look at their timing. It was aggressive. Hell, we ran the ball for almost 200 yards. We're good. As far as the offensive line, they're getting better. Just can't have them keep taking steps back. But also when your quarterbacks are told to hold the ball for 50,000 damn seconds and not throw the ball across the middle of the field, what do you expect the offensive line to do? The most explosive play all year was DK Metcalf on a middle seam route where he hit the yak for 65 yards and a touchdown. I ain't seen that play the rest of the year. I saw it one time, and we ain't ran it since. We literally ran edge plays the whole game against the Bears, who had 3 starting middle linebackers out. You didn't throw nothing across the middle of the field. You didn't even attack where they were weak at. Dummy. Horrible coaching. Now, is that Arthur Smith's fault? Don't know. Because I saw him do it with A.J. Brown and trash Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. I actually saw him start working out Drake London and get it together down there in Atlanta. I saw it. With trash Marcus Mariota playing quarterback. Mike Tomlin won't let him do it, y'all. Let's be clear, right? Yeah, DK does have an injury on his foot. His foot is jacked up. We got a lot of injuries, right? You thought Smith? No, Afton. His play, they won't let him call the plays. They won't let him do. That's Tomlin. Let's just be clear, Afton. That's Mike Tomlin that won't let him do that. You got 4 freaking tight ends and you don't throw the ball in the middle of the field. Let's be clear. Pat Freiermuth is a zone beater. He will destroy a zone in the middle of the field. Well, it don't matter. You don't throw it to him. Don't matter. Gee, I know we should. No. Gee, I know we or should draft a quarterback. But do you see Rodgers coming back? Nope. And we're not going to draft a quarterback either. Not if Mike Tomlin's the head coach. We're not going to draft a quarterback. And I really, to be honest, don't see a guy that's worth a first-round pick this year. I don't see one. Not a quarterback that we need. We need to continue to build the roster. Get a new offensive philosophy, be willing to attack the middle of the field. And in my opinion, too, and I was the guy, and I'll raise my hand, I was the guy saying, nah, Will Howard's not ready to play. At this stage in the game, if you're going to play the way that you played against the Bears, and we've seen all the reason where they can't attack the middle of the field, and if Aaron Rodgers is not healthy, put Will Howard in there. At least Will Howard can take off and run. At least he can take off and run. That might attack the middle of the field. But at this stage in the game, and I was dead wrong, some of that is Mason Rudolph. Some of that is the philosophy of Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith. You know, we got to do better. It's just time for a change, y'all. Hey, listen, y'all. I appreciate all y'all rocking with me at noonday time, keeping it 100 edition on the KnoItAllz podcast. If you're new to the channel, just make sure you like and subscribe. We're at like 1,100 and almost 90 subscribers at this point. We would not have any of those subscribers and be able to do any of this content without you guys rocking with us every single week and every single day. Man, make sure you come back tomorrow and check out me, my boy Tate Boy Fresh. Tate got 3 shows. No, he's doing 3 or 4 shows tomorrow. He's doing the freaking 3 shows. He's doing his show, the Tate's Take, and then we got to keep it 100 on Thanksgiving week with me and the Triple OG Shannon over there on Pump Your Brakes, and I got to deal with the old diabolical Kirby, man. Get his trashness out of here, man. Just unbelievable, some of the stuff he says. I just want y'all to know, he wants a little cute coach like the Miami Dolphins coach or somebody from the Cincinnati Bengals. And get that big trash mess out of here. That ain't Pittsburgh. So I got to deal with him first on Smash the Gas. So Make sure you guys check us out this week on all of our shows and all the content that we have on the KnoItAllz podcast channel. Hey, man, thanks again for rocking with me. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Absolutely, all you guys. I will see y'all definitely before Thanksgiving because Wednesday I'll be around the horn. Thanks again for rocking with us. We appreciate all you guys. Have a great and rest wonderful your day. I'll see you. Peace.